have game 2 repeat where you're just losing your lanes and you have no playmaking at all in the game. They need something quick to use these heroes, but well, we'll have to see what direction they go. This could be a lot of different heroes, honestly. As far as the supports go, if you want to do something crazy and just fight a lot, there's plenty of supports that can do that, but it's very risky generally.
So then do you care about something to enable your cores in the lane, or you just want something to distract and be like, don't worry, you will catch up in the jungle even though your lane isn't great. We'll make sure that your stacks are healthy and you'll get plenty of gold that way. Shadow Demon, he stacks like nobody's business.
Yeah, he's good at stacking. It's just, again, it's the defensive, greedy approach, right? I don't feel like Shadow Demon is the massive playmaking hero. Demonic Purge is really good here on level 6, obviously, against Darkseer and Oracle, but largely in this game, Shadow Demon is kind of a defensive support, not because of that's the only thing the hero can do, but he doesn't have any partner yet. He doesn't have an aggressive combination to play with, so what are you supposed to do here unless you now pick a 4 or a 5, whichever role Shadow Demon is going to be playing here, that can truly complement you and get stuff done. It's going to be the Shadow Shaman, so they get the Hex against both the Charge and Storm Spirit, which was picked up by EHOME, so that helps. But, man,
these heroes don't like moving around that much, though. These days we see Shadow Shaman very, very focused on getting a level 6 and stuff like that. The Aether lenses that we see so frequently.
I don't know. I just have this feeling like EHOME are going to run at you. What do you do? Who can fight back here? Sven needs time, TA needs time, and they're playing against a really fast lineup. Darkseer, Spirit Breaker, super fast and aggressive. Storm Spirit can definitely get involved if he needs in this game because the opponent heroes are slow.
Yeah, you can't fight back, you can't even run. These guys, like Spirit Breaker, Darkseer, Storm Spirit,
they're not getting away.
There's no disengagement option for Anvorgesa.
I know I sound a bit negative here, but I feel like this hero that Anvorgesa need to win me over kind of doesn't exist. But I'm curious to see. This will show a lot about their mindset on the game, right? Like this last pick. I want something that just does stuff. I want something active that can make things happen. Because I think playing straight defensively against this and expecting not to lose your map, if EHOME pick any last pick that has tower damage, I think they can just take the 3 tier 1 towers pretty quickly by Anvorgesa not being able to fight back very easily, and then take control of the jungle.
Yeah, either way, EHOME are because if Anvorgesa go for a very active offlaner, then EHOME will just pick something that can take the tier 1. If the offlane's running off in other lanes trying to make space, pick something that can push early. If Anvorgesa pick a very stable offlaner like what Tidehunter EHOME banned out, then they'll just go for a hard carry, something that's okay farming in a 1v1 lane situation.
Have to see which this last one is here, but it seems like EHOME, if I'm hearing you guys correctly, you can't really think of a pick that Anvorgesa could have here that EHOME can't just answer.
Correct.
I'm not seeing it right now. And what's funny to me about this draft is that this is kind of the opposite of what we expected in pregame. When we talked about the day starting out, this EHOME draft was something I could imagine Anvorgesa running. Like, let's run at them with Spirit Breaker, Darkseer, and play this mid-game tempo with our Storm Spirit. But Anvorgesa has like a very greedy draft. I wouldn't have thought EHOME would pick Sven TA together either, though. I feel like this is a trap you set up for yourselves. And not to say that these two heroes don't work together ever, but I think you can't do it unless you have enough information on the enemy team. If they show, okay, our lineup is slow, we're gonna farm, then you can try to out-farm with this. I like this. This is a good approach, right? In your face, let's run in, let's take a fight. It's at least some sort of a solution.
I mean, he does stuff, but he needs other people to do stuff with him, though.
Yeah, it's at least a hero that does something with Shadow Demon, right? So now he has someone to play with.
Yeah.
Shadow Shaman has someone to play with. You can maybe put some lane pressure here. That was an instant pick Wraith King, by the way. They knew exactly what they wanted. I think EHOME are looking to play this like, again, they need a last pick that can push towers, right? So now they got the skeletons from Mortal Strike, and they will look to bring the pressure to Anvorgesa. I don't know. Things are changing so much from game to game in this. There's like not very much stability. I'm on EHOME now, I think.
It's a pretty nutty series entering game 3. I think we didn't necessarily expect what we saw in game number 1, as we've already alluded to with what Anvorgesa was able to do, and we attribute a lot of that as well to some EHOME mistakes. EHOME now playing very well, and it seems to be Anvorgesa is just falling behind consistently now, even in that picks and bans phase, even in the draft. So when we get to game 3, are you in the same position that we're here right now, that potentially, like Sin said, EHOME takes the entire thing?
They're very confident in their Templar Assassin. I'm very confident in their Templar Assassin. Give me the burger.
Is he going to repair it? Oh, he's going to throw it out the door.
No, I'm all in on the burger. I'm vegetarian, so I'm not going to eat it. but I'm all in on the burger.
So you might as well throw the meat on the desk.
Hey,
Excellent. Very good.
You know, I trust you guys a lot, but one thing that I know to always trust is in the stats, and all of our stats. Our analytic partner going to be brought to us by SAP. Thank you very much for being the analytical partner of this miner. And now we're about ready to get into the action. We can hear from everybody on the desk. You guys think that, well, now, you really, did you just want to play with the meat?
That was for entertainment. I'm going home.
Yeah, I kind of figured that. All right, you got your opportunity to play with your food. I'm going to eat it as soon as we throw down to the casters. Casters, who do you think is going to be able to take this series?
I don't think anyone's going to take that burger, at least. That does not look edible anymore, guys.
Yeah, I don't think any of them were washing their hands.
Yeah, you know,
They're
like
just passing it back and forth.
It's like you come to a LAN event, it's like you got to understand, like, you can't get sick. Like, sanitary conditions, guys, come on. Be role models for your community.
Well,
Anyway.
if you're talking about
Yeah.
role models here,
Yeah.
Anvorgesa, I'm going to need a clinic on how to TA from my man Chris Luck. If you're going to come out with a first pick TA, that demonstrates you need to play perfectly. The laning phase is very much a skill-based matchup here. I think Storm is one of the better heroes against TA, especially now that you can actually get aggressive with that Vortex early on. You can close the gaps, and if you push off the refraction, you can do a lot of heavy harass damage. My concern is like Spirit Breaker Darkseer, one of my favorite combinations in Dota.
Yep.
You're gonna just be able to charge through. They have so much reach, right?
It's
you
kind
look
of
at the Shadow Demon and the Rasta, like they're just gonna get jumped on hard. What's your counterplay?
It's kind of funny because like Anvorgesa, like before you saw them use exactly the same type of style. It's just like, you know what, we're gonna Iron Shell and then CK, you just run in and you do the work. Spirit Breaker does that at such an earlier level, and he actually got buffed up recently too, right? Like I think he does a little bit more damage or a higher. Like you can never really change the percentage on SB. He's forever 17% in everyone's eyes. As way hello. Yeah, runes bounce around to everyone else as hopefully we'll have our footage back. There we go, we're back again. So it's a 3-man EHOME pull around the back to ensure there's no creep wave getting through and even farm up the SD illusions while they're there.
And this is what you do as the Darkseer lineup, right? You ensure with 3 heroes that you kill this initial creep wave, and then you can safely leave your 2 heroes to dual lane the next wave. You can actually just kill it by tanking it.
You can tank this too and then just get Xinku to charge mid, right?
Yeah.
Like you just keep that pressure on the Templar Assassin. You change around the balance of all the lanes.
And there's just nothing a Shadow Demon can do in this scenario to defend against it. Now, if they get level 2, that's where it gets really spooky. Faith Beyond going to run away, ensure that he can avoid what I thought was going to be Shadow Poison, but really it's actually Disruption level 1 from Stinger. That is...
It's how we tried to stop them from blocking the wave.
It's just so grim now. You don't do anything in the laning phase.
Yeah, maybe he also feels pressured to do this because if you can't just like if you charge in, like at least Disruption's able to save something.
Rich just came in here and put the hamburger on my desk,
It
and I don't know why. And it looks disgusting.
It looks
He
violated.
put a sauce on it. I don't even want to know what that's made of. Let's just go back into the laning phase.
Oh god.
Mid.
Yeah, top. And in a little bit of trouble. And once again, they're actually going to get first blood.
Yeah, just so much burst damage. You went double edge instead of retaliate early on Whisper. Good decision there as the burst damage, thanks to the assistance of Jericho's Ether Shock. It's a lot of damage, 290 damage from this level 1 spell when used in combination. I don't think I said that right, but you get my drift.
Yeah, I
Bottom.
I won't correct you ever, Kyle. You know me. I never act like I know anything.
I just the Shadow Demon with the level 1 disrupts. He's got to go over to the lane and try and get level 2, because otherwise he's just worthless down here, unfortunately.
But well, he also just wants to ensure his space for his core. Innocent's starting to try and get bullied by Jericho. I don't know if there's much more he can really do about this, because they'll just turn around and do exactly that. Initiation over on Jericho. Whisper able to get the stomp off. Shadow Shaman's got 4 stick charges, so life is good, as well as a quick Fairy Fire. So we knew what he can get away with, but just feels like you have to expend so much more on this dual off lane than you do for like a Wraith King Oracle.
Well, the benefit is, though, your Sven is hard free farming bottom lane. And then now he's actually in a pretty good position here. You can see Stinger's baited them in. Under the creep wave, Spearbreaker will charge towards mid, though. Nothing doing.
Well, he probably shouldn't follow through with that, but Jericho's in the river. He'll come underneath the Radiant Observe Ward, and they want to have a kill onto 4-3-0.
That's a haste rune.
As, 4-3-0's got the haste rune, so pulls him back with the Vortex, then Xingqiu will be able to connect. Meanwhile, Stinger will die. So SD dies on the save flame.
Wait,
and
what?
Shaman dies in the mid, and Faith Beyond got himself a solo kill.
How did that happen? He must have wandered out of position. That was...
Got an Iron Shell creep just trapped on his back and can't outrun it. Like, that had to have been it.
Go figure. And, all right. Concern I just have for Storm in this game is that later on, it's really tough to go toe-to-toe with the Wraith King, but we'll see. Perhaps I'll be surprised. But it will be easier for EHOME to make moves around the map for some time. They're very dependent on Anvorgesa on this Centaur ultimate to make things happen. Their support duo, no natural playmakers. They're going to need the assistance of the Stampede to actually close gaps here. Whereas EHOME, you just charge.
Yeah.
You zip, you go. The reach advantage is monumental.
Is that when you actually just play counter initiation? Like you use the SD disruption to be your starter when someone else jumps in? Because like, if you're using Stampede that way, you have to use it always aggressive and there's never a disengage. But you also need to build auras or else you're not going to be able to survive. So you can never get a Blink Dagger up on Whisper. It's
hard to say. Hang on, I want to watch this pursuit.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get the grip off here. If they do, it'll almost certainly be a kill.
Well, Shackle holding Neverend in position. There's no hook stop available just yet. And, well, Innocence Neverend. Underneath the tower we go.
That's where the lack of the stick comes into play. He's got it queued up and has for a while on Whisper, but because he doesn't have it, there's no stomp, which means instead of finding the kill, they lose out.
SD's just going for runes now. Play the money game. If he dies, he dies. Whisper, he's going to die. And SD will join him as well.
Easy peasy. Mid lane, though, you know, you do see Chris Luck starting to move ahead of 430, mostly because he's just going to the jungle, he's going to shrine, look to just recover. You don't want to play mid anymore once those traps come up until you're level 6 yourself. Just ult being pop bottom.
Wow. All right. Faith Beyond doesn't really care. There's TP support that's on the way in through the back. They're waiting for the right time to turn around onto K1, and it's going to be Innocence. Here he comes forward. Full channel. Gets the connection in. Faith Beyond's copying so much damage. CQ as well. He aggroed the tower. They'll give a double kill to K1, but K1 will get none of the experience for it.
A little ambitious there. I would say when you see the Sven pop ult in your face, maybe we don't TP on, and try and just really go for them all gung-ho. But hey, at least they do find the kill in the end. The charge now onto Chris Luck in the mid lane. You'll have a rune on Ferrari. It is a haste. You could be able to follow up here. He's playing very aggressively under tower.
If they can move through the side, as you said, 4-3-0. Haste rune pulls him back in. Whoa, actually ends up canceling the charge. And Chris wants to get back into his range of his tier 1 tower. No TP supports coming in at all. This has been coming from a mile away, and Chris can't get around the fog of war.
There was a TP on the roster, just didn't feel confident moving down there, and that's the lack of the Stampede on Whisper. Would have probably been able to save his friendly TA. Now bottom, Wraith King, Stinger is just dead.
Yep. Summon the army, and woo! A 237 crit, and yeah.
This is the strength of the EHOME lineup. They can move around the map far faster than Anvorgesa, who are trying to just keep the status quo. You want to try and pick your fights wisely, get a teleport, counter initiation going, because otherwise you really, like, remember, 2 of these 3 kills were Sven under tower being dove. You're really just not able to apply any offensive pressure right now. You want to keep the farm game going, slow this down. EHOME have no intentions of stopping.
Yeah, I don't know how you slow down EHOME. Like, they literally function on movement speed and versatility. And we haven't even seen the speed cow come in just yet with the Darkseer full buff up. All right, we're going to God Strength again. Okay, one really, like, okay, he wants that range creep, but he also needs to do damage towards the tower. Meanwhile, in mid, EHOME is setting up for their own fight underneath the tier 1.
And they're in a good position to do so as well. Spearbreaker going to hit level 6.
It's still a straight tower trade-off. I guess he's moving over because he has the Observe Ward, so they see a lot here at least. But it's the fact that you've got a Wraith King. Like, Wraith King He's such a great tower pusher ever since he got his skeleton army.
My concern is just the sustain advantage right now on EHOME. Not only are they playing with more pace, right, but they have 2 bottles and an urn in comparison to Anvorgesa, who have none.
Yeah.
So if they're able to find those kills, they can just, and stay on map, they're going to be able to just continue and find more kills. You can see Faith Beyond and XinQ, they're just farming together. They want to get 6 on Spirit Breaker. Only at 8 minutes in, that is a huge pickup. Already active.
And he could be the Sunlock. Like, Sven just finished up an 8-minute hand of Midas, but it won't matter if he gets continuously bashed.
It's not, I would say it's less the bash, it's more that you're now super susceptible as these supports that are still just level 4 and 3. You know, compare that to the level 6 cow here. You're already poor matchups. Now you can just die a couple more times. You're relying on Tome. They need to survive for another minute or two, try and make some plays around the roster wards. But I'm just afraid for Stinger. This is a miserable game to play Shadow Demon. It's already bad enough against Darkseer's Space Cow, but when you're this far behind, you are just fodder.
It's like who does he even want to disrupt? Like, he's going to get initiated on. Like, if the second you self-disrupt, you've already helped EHOME win the fight.
Yeah, you're going to farm Ancients here, though. K1 going to clear out a triple stack with the assistance of that Shadow Demon, try and give him some much-needed experience. They recognize their problems as well, but remember, this means that Chris Luck won't be able to do so. That was a big part of Ferrari's game in Game 2. You want your TA to be the one accelerating, and it's the one downside of TA Sven, is that if neither hero is strong enough to like make his own game, only one of them is truly able to accelerate, and they're going to just go straight for mid.
Yep, here they come. Right on top of Chris. Stinger, defensive disruption, actually going out onto XinQ, stopping that charge forward. Now Stampede comes forward as well. Maybe Chris has enough life with that speed to get away. Wraith King's died once, but that's what the reincarnation's for. XinQ kept alive thanks to the false promise. They just have all these levels up and running, and the sustain from EHOME, a double kill for Innocence, and they're going for even more. K1, as well as Jericho back into safety behind their tier 2 tower. Yeah. But EHOME are happy with this. 10-minute bounty runes will spawn, and they've got 2 big kills.
And 2 big bottles as well that they're now going to be able to fill up. And keep in mind, I forgot the most key part of the sustain equation, which is that Oracle. Why just easily saves his Spirit Breaker, who ends that fight at full HP, even though he was in the thick of things the entire time. And they've just got so much pursuit. Whisper, he TPs in, gets a big Stampede off, but he had no mana for the Stomp again. So he ends up just going down, and there's just no damage, especially with the Sven ultimate already on cooldown because he was farming Ancients. Not interested in participating in that fight, and unable to.
Yeah, it's the support levels you were mentioning. Like, it's perfectly that. The fact that EHOME, the second they both had 6, like, they were looking to get involved. They're looking to get aggressive, and
I think it's because they gave the Tome to the Shadow Demon, but Jericho needed it. You have no wards. And removes their ability to split push. The Sven just continuously popping ultimate to increase his farming speed, but it's about farming. It's not about fighting, and that's what the name of EHOME's game right now is. They're going to continue to try and play around the map, but don't count out Sven. Not saying this game's over by any means. He is significantly ahead in the net worth charts.
Yeah, he's still got 1,500 on anyone else, but he's running Midas, and he's taking every single one of the stacks that's being prepared for him, which is where TA kind of has more of her problems.
It's the supports. It's mostly XinQ. I mean, we've been praising him for 2 games in a row now. His net worth is just 500 behind his safe lane carry, and it's more than both of the enemy supports combined. That's the big difference here. Sure, you have the bigger cores on Anvorgesa, but the downside of spending a game like this is that BKB timing, you're going to just get ulted by the Space Cow during it, and then EHOME can kite away. They have Surge, they have the Reincarnate on the Wraith King, Storm Zips, the Oracle to save. If you're Anvorgesa, you got to find that initial kill right away, and it's tough to do so against the EHOME lineup.
Well, they have to find a way, Anvorgesa, or they're just not going to get anywhere. Storm is getting stronger and stronger. Just completed up Akaya. Like, they're able just to easily farm inside the jungle. I love having Arcane Rune also bolted up. They'll trigger that one as Whisper initiated on. 4-3-0 will get the chains done. Now you're going for your Nether Strike. This is perfect chaining. This is an EHOME that looks like they've actually come to play in Game 2 and even more here in Game 3.
Yeah, for sure. They've got to be feeling good about the way this game's going thus far, but don't count out the Sven. Chris Luck, K1, they haven't participated much in the game, but they're
into mid lane. You know the jump's going to come. SD, there's no disruption. The wards come out. Now it does at the very last moment. XinQ needs a way to get himself out of this one. Disarm, but okay, no, just run back in. Yeah, go back underneath the Mass Serpent wards and underneath the tower. When you got Innocence there to help you out, continuously giving you more and more life, and all you need to do is provide 9 shell burn, sure.
He's got a salve.
He's almost back up to full health as well. Whisper, what do you do? Like, they get targets on top lane. Like, if they see Chris Luck, all he's got to do is just charge him. The fact cancels the TP out. Now, Faith Beyond's gonna be happy he took the tome. That one extra level gave him the Stampede. Pulled back in by Vortex. Chris can't go anywhere, and even Sven. Oh, boy. It goes from bad to worse to absolutely catastrophe. If they complete these TPs, they're going to do it on top of the wall. At least there won't be a back available, but a charge in once again. Xingqiu going in deeper. He knows how much he can get away with. As long as he's got the Iron Shell burn, it's just going to be enough damage. They get at least a little terrified of him. And he now, maybe with the stick charges, no, Hofstop and Whisper finally putting down the cow.
It just, you can see the pace though, Toby. The EHOME just all around the map, and both cores of Anvorgesa isolated. Just the danger when you have these two weak supports against high reach heroes like Spirit Breaker and Storm. If they're found, they are dead. And sure, you get off all of your spells, but so what? You're not able to turn anything around. Oracle consistently buying health potions, getting the ultimate off to earn, like, there's just too much sustain. You can't kill Spirit Breaker.
How many times does Ferrari also get himself an arcane rune after getting the Kaya? Like, I think the 12 and the 14-minute runes were both arcanes for him.
I think that's possible. I don't think you can't have two runes.
It's not the same time. Must be in the 10 and the 14 then. Because he had it in his bottle around the 12-minute mark.
Yeah,
So
that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Either way, it's still fortuitous. It is a Storm Spirit after all. Faith Beyond is going to be going for the Greaves. But the danger you see right here is that Anvorgesa, they don't have the ability to address the split push. And if they split up, they're always susceptible to being converged on and pincered around the map because EHOME can move so much faster. I like this decision. Maybe look for a smoke move. You've got the Deso on TA. You could maybe make a Roche play.
And they're around the
Something.
pit, but it looks like they're looking for fights more than that, or maybe they're looking for vision.
Are spawning.
Sentry Ward, Observer both being planted down, so they see the SD. Storm Spirit will jump in. There's no way you can react to this in time apart from defensive disruption, but this just allows EHOME to set up a Spirit. It's a good double stun, and the mouse symbols, but back wall tries to create a little bit more space. When the Faith Boost just walks yourself away, duke it out in 4-3-0, needs to get himself down the hill and away. Spirit Breaker's coming back in again. He's going to charge through, actually tapping the TA on the way through. And then underneath Shrine, EHOME still with the confidence to fight. Going to be careful of Whisper with this huge stun and the cleave damage from Sven. They're doing some decent work, but is it enough? They have to get through EHOME. But K1's retreating back out. He doesn't even want to stand and attack. And the big heroes who are meant to be the immortals of the older patch, the Sven and the Centaur, they are going down. And they're going down with just EHOME bit by bit chipping away at him.
It's just the Arcane Rune on Storm. Ferrari using his mana strangely, but it doesn't matter because he has so much sustain within the fight. The Ion Shells, the mech, like there's so much sustained DPS on this EHOME team that as soon as you pop the Sven ulti and you get CC'd out of your ability to actually deal real damage, you don't even get the Wraith King ulti. He's going for a Radiance next. I mean, it's an uphill battle for sure. Not out of this is Anvorgesa. They still have the top two cores in net worth. It's just, again, the concern of how do you get your supports in the game? I'd rather have an Oracle at this point than both of the Radiant supports.
Yeah, you'll take that. It's like Ferrari takes yet another rune, a regeneration rune for him this time around.
Not bad.
Yeah, it was fine. He had like maybe 10% mana, so he's already back to full while using it to farm. And Xingqiu gets more and more space with Spirit Vessel. It's harder to move around even more as, okay, K1. He's playing like he's got an entire team behind him. So you give him props on that.
And we'll, God, I'm just curious. And the thing is, he's been doing this the whole game. This is one of the benefits of Spirit Breaker as a hero. You get to just play the dead lane, and it's no big deal if you get jumped. You're so tanky. Even if you were to die, 3-4 heroes have to be there to do so, and they're not going to get anything out of the map.
And if you're at a charge target, you may just get out of there anyway.
Exactly.
Because what have they got? Stormbolt can chase you, yeah. But if you don't Hoofstomp, if you don't disrupt, I suppose Shaman's got some, but it's hard.
And then when you want to fight away from the Spirit Breaker, well, he just charges forward, as you just said. So it's really just not a big deal. Centaur does have a blink now. Whisper will be trying to make some plays. It's just the lack of sustained damage makes it so that if Anvorgesa, if they don't find a pick-off to start the fight, they can't win it. And there's an Oracle on the other team. So you need to kill him, but it's just not realistic. Wive's positioning has been near flawless. Guy's a TI winner after all. You cannot expect to find him unawares. 6-0-7 on the Oracle thus far. Greaves now on the Darkseer. even more sustain.
Yeah, it's just starting to really add up. And you look to TA for her damage output, but all she's got is a Desolator. Blink Dagger will be purchased, so she may try and get into the back lines and do something about that Oracle. But it's dangerous. EHOME have this ability just to turn attention around very, very quickly. And if you don't chain stun, you won't get anywhere. Whisper is being pushed and tossed around. Stormbolt won't do much. Tried to create a little bit of space, but that's, again, God's strength. He is so frivolous with his ability. Like, I get a K1, like, it gives you a large amount of damage, but you need to make the most of it, so they smoke up, and they'll look for their own target. Mid's the only place they can find something, but they're going to go in for Roshan and use that Desolator. And the Mass Serpent Wards.
They've got to try and zerg this down, though, Toby, because EHOME, they've got to be aware this is a possibility.
They're so close. Faith Beyond, he's just around the corner. And now, oh, he came outside the pit. The Hex.
They've got to know now.
Roshan's almost done. The wall is down. They created a copy with Sven. Who's actually going to get the kill on over on Roshan? Storm Spirit will jump in, but the stun, the Stormbolt dives to kill up the Ancient. But who's got the Aegis Immortal? It goes into Ferrari 4-3-0, and this will now be the wipeout. This may actually just be the entire series. TA and Sven down for 45 seconds without buyback. It was Ferrari who got the kill. Oh boy.
Not just, the kill and the Aegis. And that you're trying to make these sneaky plays, but it's so easy for EHOME to respond, and they do it in the perfect way. Faith Beyond walks into the pit, they use some spells, they know they're in there, the wall goes down to provide vision, that gives the charge target, and now it's so simple for Ferrari to make plays with perfect information.
And they were so far through it, like they had to commit at this point, so we'll watch it once again. So the stun comes in, and just in the absolute chaos, it's like, well, what the hell are we going to do here?
The back into the wards as well. And it's a tough game. EHOME done a great job so far. This is the style I expected to see. You've got a core, does tons of physical damage on the Wraith King. They have no real issues with scaling. The item synergies make sense. And it's just an easy game to play. No more DPs left, please.
Oh, another smoke gank. Hoofstomp will be able to connect, and Xingqiu shackled, locked. Faith Beyond's going to arrive at the Stormbolt.
How is he still alive?
He's just living through this? Ferrari gets into the backline. He's killed up Jericho. Xingqiu's not even bloody dead. Oh boy. In fact, he's actually getting a solo kill on Stinger. Oh, life is hard. They've at least got a bit of a trap down, but here comes Xingqiu charging in, the immortal hero of EHOME. Just wants to stand his ground, work with Neverend as they chain stun up K1. Another jump forward. Whisper does his job. The cleave damage, it's getting through EHOME, but Reincarnation will bring it back up. Finally, Chris Luck will arrive, but the Hellfire Blast burning through a Mass Serpent will also be connected, but it's Neverend who's just always there, working with Ferrari to drag back that Templar Assassin. A triple kill for Ferrari. And it's just non-stop from EHOME. They're happy to go toe-to-toe, and they're winning. Now Sven is, for a while now, he's now in third position on the net worth.
Yep. And it's just not looking to get any better. It feels like I'm watching similar games to when Secret seems to dominate, where it feels like it's 5 heroes against 2, and that number is rapidly dropping in the sense that these supports don't have much game impact. Even a Whisper, he's good for a blink stun, the Stampede pop, but the damage output of the 3-4-5 is not there. And TA and Sven, with no BKBs, they're so easily controlled right now. EHOME just threw round after round of spells, and they didn't even have the Oracle there for that fighter. I don't think they'd lose a member. 6-29, 21 minutes in, and you can just see the strategy for EHOME is simple. Xingqiu, where is he? Bottom lane. All right, I'm going to play here, folks. You guys, when you're ready, go try and make some moves.
I'll come and join you. Look, he's even building a Hyperstone into the Moonshard for his next one. Just increase that attack speed, increase the bash chance. Yeah. And I think he's just having a little bit of fun, too.
I mean, at this point, everybody on EHOME is. He's even got the 40 damage talent.
Is that Courier should bring the rest of his Solar Crest?
No, he does not have the gold. He's going to buy it himself.
Okay, now he's going to buy it. So no, he wasn't going to go directly in for the Moonshot.
Look bottom. Of all the runes,
it's another Arcane.
That's 3 and 12 minutes, and
well,
he's Xingqiu.
Whoa, that speed! He is hyped up. He's the real Keanu Reeves speed movie, as now they drag him back in. The Darkseer wall pops down. Dven's already dead. Jericho will join him, and this game really is over. They may as well call it at this point. There's no way to escape back out here for Stinger. They're moving over looking for the real TA, and man, Ferrari's just got all of the mana he needs because it cost him almost nothing for the jumps.
Yeah, there's light speed, Toby, and then there's ludicrous speed. They removed the cap, and all of a sudden that cow is charging in, like, I believe, was close to like 1,100. You can't track him, and well, they're just killing the racks. Like the game, again, for EHOME, the game plays itself. And when you're the better team, you're the more experienced team, you get into these positions where it felt like Anvorgesa, they had to take risks, they had to make something special happen, and it's just so difficult to do that when you've got all these tools on the side of EHOME to keep your heroes alive, to force those favorable fights.
And EHOME have just a nicely rounded lineup for Game 3. Game 2 actually just felt like it was a little bit more of an outplay with the way the lanes ended up going in Game 1. Oh, that's the reason why we got here into a Game 3. It was still a great Meepo performance. It was a great overall team performance, but it definitely shows that maybe EHOME have a bit of a weakness when it comes to grouping up as 5 and being forced into such situations. But they fight through, they'll take the series 2-1 and advance through into the next round. Not as clean as everyone was expecting that series to be.
For sure, I think maybe it could be a bit of nerves, maybe jet lag. There's a ton of excuses that I've utilized over the years in my first series on LAN, but
yeah, I'm sorry. I woke up and I got out of the wrong side of the bed. That was Alliance, right, in Birmingham. It's like, yeah, we don't know which side we're getting up from.
It's it happens, but they come back. I felt like their play improved as the series went on. Anvorgesa, they got nothing to be ashamed of, but I do feel like they need to have more of a series plan. And I'm not going to just point at the reactions after the first game where it felt like they won the series, but that's Game 1, folks. But they come into this third game just first picking TA.
Yeah, but you know, like in Game 2, they first picked the SK. Like they just first picked the hero that EHOME did best in the game before.
It's reactive drafting, and it's just not something you see from these top teams with obviously a lot more experience. But it's more of a game plan, and it's fleshed out as the series goes on. There's a meta that develops. It's not just, oh, well, we played this game with TA, and it didn't work.
Oh, well.
Now we'll pick it up. Yeah, it's just rough. And also, I just want to point out, like, what is this?
Like,
look at this.
Come on.
This is disgusting.
This is what Rich does to production. Like quality of Dota every time Rich comes to join us. It is just abused.
It is nice though, because with Rich back, we all just look better dressed. I'm just kidding. I love the outfit.
That doesn't happen. I think Rich, and I may get in trouble for saying it, but I think Rich's suits actually top Bruno's. I know. Hatred's coming my way. So I'm going to go hide.
I do not stand by the statements of my co-caster, even though I am forced to sit next to him. It is telling, I feel, Tobes, that we're discussing who has the best wardrobe after a series is completed. But at the end of the day, game felt over at 10 minutes. And EHOME, they still look like the favorites even after a shaky Game 1. And it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the tournament plays out for them.
Yeah, love to see it. Well, that's the next part of the tournament. We've got more games to come today. Do not go anywhere.
In esports, we are still at the beginning, and giving context to data is super complex. Technology and stats and insights can really help doing that.
I